Welcome to Palmer Lake, Colorado, one of my favorite places to hike. There's a main trail that goes down through there and around the reservoirs. We're gonna do that, but I'm gonna try to get up there too, onto that ridge. Probably not a ton of talking early on because there are people here, not many, but there are some, so lots of B-roll, then talk later when I'm up on that ridgeline by myself. You know, whoever wants a 50-degree uphill on snow-covered ice, more power to you. Ask anyone who knows me, I am not above taking the low road. If the lower reservoir spillway and the little creek tube are frozen over, my water doesn't stand a chance. So that's the inlet for the lower reservoir over there. Reservoir itself is frozen solid, I still wouldn't walk on it, and there are the spillways. Small little thing, really dwarfed by the upper. This one is completely locked down. You basically can't do anything with it. I really hope they treat the water again after they get it out of here, but you know, $800 fine for having a dog just on this trail. I don't know what they're filtering it with, if they even are. I hope they are. All right, let's get up to the second. Okay, that's the inlet to the second reservoir, the upper reservoir. This is the one where you can, I think you can swim, you can definitely fish. As you can see, it is much, much bigger. So, story time. I have walked on ice a few times in my life. Frozen lake in Wisconsin, then a frozen river in Minnesota, and then dropped my left leg into frozen wetlands that were not frozen over as much as I thought. So I hate frozen things that I'm walking on. I don't understand how ice works. I'm from Florida, leave me alone. However, in the interest of content, and because those guys apparently didn't die, zero doubt, I am on the frozen upper reservoir. Now, I am getting the ever-living F off of the frozen reservoir and back onto dry land. That may seem like an act, it's not. I hate walking on frozen stuff. you drop your left leg into Minnesota swamp when it's, 0 degrees out once, and you never want to have that experience again. Both of the inlets to the upper reservoir come through wetlands. That's very cool. That's very useful because there are 3 really good ways that I know of, I'm not an expert, to purify and clean water naturally. One, pardon the thumb, like I said, not editing these. One is to have it fall from the sky. That's as pure as it gets. 2 is to have it come up through the ground after being forced to spend 50 years going through fine rocks. And 3 is wetlands. Wetlands are full of plants that eat up nitrates, eat up nitrites too. They do a lot of filtration. They have root systems that are great for that. And I think it's cool, intentional or not, that Palmer Lake's drinking supply comes through wetlands. So, coming up here on the end of the reservoir, I think that's how you say it. It's French. I don't speak French. I barely handle English. We're coming up on the end of the main trail. It's going to split in 2 directions. One is going to go up that hill. That's not where we're going. The other is going to go right back through the wetlands and basically feed into my favorite part about this hiking area, all the little trails that branch out, stick out everywhere. So I will see you at the Swank Trail in a few minutes. I can't see anything. I'm guessing that's a squirrel, but if anyone knows, I'd be curious to learn. So if you go this way, it takes you to a little fresh slice of hell called the Inlet Trail, which is pretty normal up until it stops being normal. And you find yourself scrambling up a hill, and then getting back down is even more fun. Up here, and I don't think this has had any people on it lately. Some of these footsteps look a couple days old. The massive rock formation that might as well be the trailhead for the Swank Trail. Don't know how any of these trails got their name, except for Ice Cave and Harrison Plane Crash trails. But this is the fun part of Palmer Lake for me. Getting up the reservoir trail is like the commute. Getting to the Swank, the inlet, the winding stairs connector, that's where the fun begins. Don't know how much video I'm going to get off of the Swank because it is a little bit on the steep side, a little bit on the rocky and rooty side, so probably need my sticks. But yeah, see if I can get a shot or two, and I would say probably half the time there are families of deer on this trail. I don't know if they're very nice or very stupid, but they'll almost walk up to you. Good thing hunting is illegal here. So Yeah, the top of the Swank Trail gets to the base of my ridge trail, which isn't a trail. I'm talking too much. See you in a few. Coming up on where I would start looking for deer. I don't see them, but tell you what, if I don't find any, I might put a picture of a big friendly buck that I caught on trail last weekend in on top of this video. It's chilly. We keep going. I'm very happy to see this side trail that hooks around, stays relatively flat, and connects up at the top is in good shape, because that whole mess under that snow, rocks, roots, things you can't see, and that's a little deep for my taste. And there aren't really many tracks going over it because they're all going this way. So, around and up. Okay. Welcome to the ridgeline. Swank Trail goes back down there. It also goes off this way down to Ice Cave Creek and ultimately heads out to the Harrison Crash. This is called the Winding Stairs Trail. Those are called footprints. Winding Stairs Trail goes all the way deep up into the mountains. I want to say about 10 miles back. It is a ridge walk, but it's a pretty intense up and down ridge walk. I don't think I've made it more than 3 miles before turning around. This is where we're going. This is the ridge line, way above everything except maybe Chautauqua Mountain and some of the stuff on the winding stairs way back in. This one you are definitely not going to get any footage of me walking up because I'm going to try to do this without my sticks too. Should be fun. And welcome to the top. Don't see any people up here. Perfect. Feels really weird filming around people. So, whoever's got these snowshoes has the right idea. So down and in. How's that for a view? Okay, there is someone else up here. Unfortunately, that means it's snowing, and I have to drive back through that. With game traffic. Crap. Little train going down there. So, that mountain that you can just barely make out through the snow, that is Bald Mountain. That is the highest point on the Palmer Divide. Palmer Divide's a geographic feature that runs, you guessed it, from Palmer Lake out into the eastern plains. Really fun place. Big storms kick off along it. And there are just a lot of cool geographic features along it too. So, off that way, and then I need to get the hell down from here. Chautauqua Peak, right there, that's about 8,200 feet. This ridge is around 8,100. There's a beautiful view, but I can't feel my hands. I am very, very hungry, and my Victory Snickers is frozen solid, which sucks. So, I am going to wander on out of here and put my sticks together so I don't almost fall down that hill again. Alright, peace out. Okay, and this is how the day in Palmer Lake ends. Unexpected snow. I was actually a little bit concerned coming down at the end because the temperature just dropped 10 degrees, the wind kicked up, and it started snowing. None of those things were supposed to happen. So, I'm cold. I'm tired. I have to drive an hour and a half on icy I-25 with game traffic headed up north. Yeah, it's going to be an entertaining trip. Good night.